is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hop. The boys are back in town after our first week off in over 2 years. We are here again to drink with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We hope you made it. We hope you survived the week without us.
We hope you missed us.
I was sitting, I didn't know what to do with myself. It was Thursday came and I drank a beer and talked about it to my empty walls.
Oh,
there was
that's
nobody listening.
Cool. Yeah, it was a little strange. I was like, all right, so we got to record. Oh, we got the week off, vacation. Let's go outside and play. And then New York City said, hey, it's cold. Remember that. So here we are. But yes, we are back for another great round. Thank you all for joining us on this lovely Thirsty Thursday. And we thought, what better way to come back with in a bang? We've got a powerhouse brewery, one of the most popular in the world. We are drinking House Brewing for round 107. We are very excited about this. We have had many of their beers before. Most of the cans are on the wall here in the New York City apartment. Still up there. Very pumped. We got 2 dope beers. We're very excited for it.
Treehouse is one of those breweries, man. It's the stuff of legends. It's mythical. They need no introduction. They need no publicity from us. But it is our pleasure and treat to drink their beers for you here on the show today. They are just iconic. So, brewery out of Massachusetts. If you're unfamiliar with them, that seems impossible. But if that's the case, get ready, because you're getting into a good one here. This is the kind of brewery you travel far and wide to get to this podunk town in Massachusetts.
Yes. This is the type of brewery that most of the beer you can't get at like a beer shop. Like you have to get it at the brewery, and it's one of those deals where you sit in your car for an hour before it opens, and the second you see an employee, you run up, or I think they do the curbside pickup as well. Either way, get there early because your favorite beer will be sold out in seconds.
So our every other week recording schedule means that we have a whole lot to do today. So let's dive into it. Guys, if you are not already following us on the social media, please feel free to do so. We are at the HO Podcast, Instagram and Twitter. We appreciate everybody that has rated and reviewed over time. If you haven't done so, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on Google. And, give us a review. Let us know what you think. Your feedback helps us make the show better for you in each and every week. So we do appreciate it. We are also available on YouTube. Check us out on there. Just search for the Hop, a Craft Beer Podcast. You'll see our smiling faces, the beers we're drinking, the breweries, etc. If you have suggestions, requests, anything like that, our email is thehopod@gmail.com. And if you haven't done so, check out your podcast feeds every other week. We're going to be throwing up our Throwback Thursday episodes where we revisit some old episodes. And it was, the audio quality was different, but it was kind of fun. We revisited You Into Brewing this past week, and I had fun listening back to that. So,
I did as well, yeah. I remember those beers. They were good beers.
Check that out. You might catch an episode that you missed, or just one that you want to hear again. Licking Hole will make a reappearance at some point.
Licking Hole.
Yeah.
As always, let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know your favorite Treehouse beer. They have many and plenty. They've got something for everyone. They've got the classics and the big hitters, but they got a couple random ones that we saw while doing a little bit of research. Let us know. We are here for you.
All right, let's dive into a whole lot of news.
Beer news.
All right, Gabe, you ready? We got a lot to cover here.
Woo!
Let's see.
Speedy Gonzalez, go.
Yeah, deep breath. The month of January is Stout Beer Month, so hopefully you've been enjoying that. Ball Corporation has postponed the implementation of their new minimum order policies that we have talked about before, so that's good news for breweries. They're delaying it back to March 1st. Drinks to go laws have been returning in states where they were scaled back, such as California and New York, so thank you, Omicron, for that one.
Great.
Troy Aikman has debuted a beer called 8 Lager after the number that he wore. I don't know. It's him and a bunch of beer dudes that released this beer. Could be fun. I don't know.
They need to go get this bread.
They need to get this.
That is a direct quote from Mr. Troy Aikman.
That's our favorite Troy Aikman quote. If we could make a soundbite of that.
Soundbite. Yes, exactly. I was just about to say that.
And this news isn't fun, but it makes me laugh. PBR kicked off the new year by tweeting, "Not drinking this January, try eating ass."
Oh, God, no.
That employee was fired.
They were very fired.
But, yeah, not really news, but I wanted to say it out loud.
Yeah, they've come under fire for this a little bit, rightfully so. But, I mean, I don't know. There's a small part of me that's kind of funny. There's also a small part of me that's like, what does this have to do with beer? I don't really... Okay.
That PBR tastes like ass, maybe? Anyway.
Now we're talking.
All right, our first real story, Monster Beverages has purchased the Canarchy Craft Beer Collective. This is a big purchase. It's a big deal. The Canarchy Craft Collective, we have had several of their beers on our show. This is craft beer brands Cigar City and Oscar Blues, both of which have been on our show, as well as Deep Ellum, Perrin Brewing, Squatters, and Wasatch. Has Oscar Blues been on our show? Yes, it has. Right?
Yes, it has.
Okay. So all of those brands are being added to the Monster portfolio, not the Canarchy restaurants, but Monster. Basically, the story here is that Monster is trying to move their way into the alcohol game. They had been exploring a merger with Constellation Brands. It didn't come through, but this is a $330 million all-cash deal expected to close in the first quarter of this year. And so it's, the Canarchy Craft Collective, those were all craft beers. This is a big corporation. The Brewers Association did issue a statement saying that Canarchy is going to still meet the craft brewer definition because Monster is not a beverage alcohol industry member. That's a quote. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll affect the quality of the beer. I hope not. I love Cigar City. I love Oscar Blues. I love Wasatch. The other ones I'm not as familiar with, but it's a good.
It will probably affect the quality of Monster as well.
It may, or you might just see some alcoholic Monster in the very near future.
Oh God! So heart attack in a can, crazy. All right, there is new leadership at Modern Times Brewing. This is a big one. Modern Times was under a little bit of fire this past year with some of their stuff that was going. Exactly. Yep. Yes, with all of that was going on. The beer game is definitely shaped up ever since all the accusations and things like that coming out. They've addressed the realities head on. In a press release, they announced that Jennifer Briggs will step into the role of CEO. She returns to the beer industry. She previously worked at New Belgium. She was the VP of Human Resources and Organizational Development. Danielle Jackson is going to take over as VP of Sales. The company has acknowledged that, they have messed up before. They want to make a change. The people they quoted saying that the people that are still here haven't stopped thriving toward what we know this company can be for both its employees and its supporters. We hope so. This is the first step in Modern Times, as we always say, cleaning it up.
Cleaning it up.
Jennifer, congrats.
Kings and Convicts has taken over St. Archer. Well, really, Molson Coors has retired St. Archer. They announced this earlier this month. They're going to be discontinuing the St. Archer beer brand. If you're an East Coaster, this may not affect you. I see St. Archer in every beer store I go into. So, may it rest in peace. The brewing facility in San Diego is being sold to Kings and Convicts. So you may remember Kings and Convicts company out of the Midwest. They purchased Ballast Point in a blockbuster sale a couple of years ago. So this will allow them to increase brewing and canning capacity and things like that, expand into different offerings. I am not entirely sure what this means for St. Archer. Molson Coors is holding on to the rights to the brand, so I guess they won't be produced by Kings and Convicts, but I don't know. St. Archer's original founder, Josh Landon, who sold the company to Molson Coors, told Brewbound that he was devastated by this move, and he did hint that he may want to reacquire the brand in the future. So who knows? Maybe it'll come back. And then elsewhere in the world, Uinta Brewing also has... Oh, yes.
Sorry, I wanted to play that.
I was waiting for it. I thought I teed you up. Uinta Brewing has new ownership. They've been purchased from Golub Capital, which has had a controlling interest since 2019. United States Beverage is a sales and marketing firm out of Stanford, CT. They have formed a joint venture with Crestone, which is a Colorado-based company, and they'll be acquiring a 100% interest in Uinta. I'm not sure that this is a big deal because Uinta has gone through a couple ownership changes in the past couple years.
I was just going to say, I feel like they've changed that like every other Tuesday.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. For more information on this than we have time to go into here, there's an excellent piece on good beer hunting by Kate Bernot. Don't know how to say your name, Kate. I'm sorry, but it breaks both of these moves down and what it means for the beer industry on a sort of more zoomed out scale. So I would recommend that you go check that out if you're interested. Lots of breweries making moves, and things are weird right now in the beer industry. So
aren't they always? Pliny the Younger release is being postponed to March. Sorry, we know it's Omicron. Blame Omicron. So as we said, they were going to release it. It was going to be a big to-do. Go grab it. Do your thing. Well, you know, they don't want people to get sick, obviously, like everyone. Keep wearing your mask. I know it sucks. Just do it. The plan right now is for the event to take place March 25th to April 7th, 2022. The company did an online sale for the beer last year, which apparently led to 110,000 Californians purchasing at once, and the beer sold out within 5 minutes. Woof. That's quick. It's a good beer. Go get it. But yeah, so they're pushing that back. Hopefully we can get things cleared up again, and then you can go get some Pliny the Younger, and Steven can get me some because I'm not there.
Yeah, I really, really want my hands on that beer. If not this year, next year. But yeah, that's a big event. And
imagine having to wait a full year for one single beer.
I mean, I've wanted this beer for like years since I found out it existed. So yeah. Someday.
Someday.
All right. And our final story, we did it. We blitzed through this beer. This
Here we go. Yeah, that was good. That was a good rain pace.
Final story is it's a personal one, and it sucks. 30 Mile Brewing out of Old Saybrook, Connecticut, has shut their doors. They announced this move in an email to their supporters, in which they said, quote, "As a small business, we are not immune to the challenging economic conditions of the past 2 years. At this point, it is not sustainable for us to continue on as we have." The company originally opened in 2016. They officially closed their doors on January 16th, so earlier this week. They were featured on the Hop, round 36. We did a taproom special there. Great local company, you know, one of those ones that we stumbled upon, and we've been to their tap room a few times. I did a kayak beer event with them, all kinds of different stuff. They had great beers. They had a great vibe, and they will be missed. So
it's a very tiny brewery, but it was like our tiny brewery.
Yeah, and it's the kind of
they
thing.
Were great.
It's the kind of thing that you're not even like. It's not even gonna. You won't even see that on Brewbound. You know, that's how small it is, because this kind of stuff is going on all over the country every day. But
yeah,
this
it
one's
sucks,
personal,
but,
so you made it to the
30
show.
Mile, forever in our hearts, forever on our feed.
Or one, yeah, forever in our feed. All right, let's get to
Let's get in the
Treehouse.
Treehouse.
Shall we? We got to go jazz for Treehouse.
Ooh,
Classic,
yeah.
smooth. All right, from the Treehouse's website, I would just like to quote this to you. Great beverages can transform ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. They can act as time machines with familiar flavors that bridge the present with the past and evoke feelings of nostalgia and a yearning for days gone by. Having fallen in love with this power, we are forever energized to explore the limits of creativity and to work tirelessly to get it right every single time. And with that, a poem by Annette Wynne, who writes a lot of tree-related poetry.
Love
This is called The Tree Outside. The tree outside stands tall, straight and tall, and never can lie down at all, for if it once should take a rest, I fear for each small swinging nest. And so untiredly it stands and holds up in its leafy hands the little nests. And soon and late, I bless my good tree, tall and straight. I bless its kind, strong, loving arms that hold the birds and nests from harms. It never does grow tired at all. I love you, tree, straight, kind, and tall.
First of all, that was perfect with the music. Well done. Second of all, it's giving me a lot of Giving Tree vibes. You remember those stories?
Funny story. I wanted to quote the Giving Tree for my toast, and that story is so fucking sad and depressing.
Yeah, it is. You don't realize it as a kid, and then you get older and you're like, Jesus.
I could not make it work. I tried. I thought maybe if I just take no, this doesn't work at all.
I remember being scared of the story with the guy with the tooth, the dentist who was trying to fix the crocodile. He eats him. Ooh.
I don't know that one.
Oh, yeah. Crocodile's like, ow, my tooth hurts. He's like, I'm a dentist. I'll fix it for you. Like, gets in his mouth and he just eats him. And I was like, that did something to young Gabe inside.
Let's drink about it. You want to drink about it?
Yes, please.
So Treehouse is notorious. I might say infamous for their IPAs. So what we're going to kick things off with here is a brown ale. Gabe?
And we're not doing that right away. No, we found that, well, I should say you found this, and I'm very excited for it. This is the Bear with a hint of coffee. It is an American brown ale. It is their spin off of their original beer, which I believe was just called Bear.
It's Bear. They have a beer called Bear, which is their brown ale, and then they did a version of it. This is this one.
This is the coffee version. There's a dope looking bear for you YouTubers. It is 6.4%. No IBUs. Beer Advocate gave it an 89. Untapped gave it a 3.92. On the SRM chart, I'm actually not going to call this a 40. I'm going to call it a 38 to 39 because when you look at the top of it, it's got like a nice copper color to it. It's clearly brown. It's not black. If you look closely, it's just brown. Brown ale makes sense. But this is what we are working with. If you are on YouTube, I've got a classic beer mug. Steven has a little tulip guy.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. It's got, a little bit of light coming in around the sides. That's how you can tell it's lower than a 40, right? It's got a little reddish hue around the edges where the light hits it. So definitely a brown ale. Plenty of sticky lacing along the sides. Looks like a little dessert. It poured with a good, rich, creamy tan head that had good retention. And here we are. Now from the can. Hint of coffee. Bear Hint of Coffee is our brown ale paired with a light dose of carefully sourced house roasted coffee. Toffee, brown bread, and light chocolate notes intermingle seamlessly with the gentle character of light roast coffee, elegance, and simplicity. A bear greater than the sum of its parts. Enjoy. We will. Thank you.
And then from the website, I found we are excited to welcome Bear back, this time with a tasteful and restrained addition of custom roasted coffee, which I found very interesting. A winter treat indeed. So
yeah, that's something we know a thing or two about because they are in part a coffee roastery and a distillery.
Is crazy.
Yeah. We'll get into all that, but I poured it, I smelled it by accident, and now I can't wait to get my nose inside it and it inside my mouth. So
okay, that's going to be a soundbite very soon, but let's get into it, shall we?
Yes. I mean the coffee and espresso notes are right up front. I mean, it's definitely, one of those this reminds me though of beers we've had recently. I'm thinking of maybe Four Quarters. Did we do we did a brown ale from there.
We did the Smoky Bear guy.
Exactly. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of it, because it was also a bear. But it's got all of those, the roasted malts are there, the toffee, the coffee, the chocolate, all of those dark things with a nice sweetness to it, some vanilla, some caramel. Coffee shop.
It smells a little boozy. It smells like, I don't want to say chocolate cake. I kind of want to say like chocolate pudding pie. It's got kind of like that dessert sweetness aroma to it. Like when you slice like a perfectly slice of pie, like right after dinner, and you're about to eat and you just take a whiff of that. Like that's what I'm getting up front. Obviously all the things you mentioned, but that like just is right. It's right here.
Yeah, it's got like sort of a sugar quality to it or a brown sugar quality to it. It's very, very rich and complex on the nose. And the reason it reminds me of that Smoky Bear is because I feel like when we taste it, it's going to be a little bit more subdued than the nose would lead us to believe. You know, like when you smell it,
yeah.
you almost go, oh, this is going to be like a dessert beer. Like this is going to be like a rich slice of cake. And it smells like that, but I'm not sure it's going to taste like that just based on my experience with this style. But the coffee just, you know, is such a perfect seamless accent to the roasted malt and all the other bitter, you know, delightfully bitter notes in here.
Yeah, it smells stronger than 6.4. I don't know if they were going for that or not, but it's like, you know, blindfolded, I want to say like 7 easy.
Yeah, I mean it's got a slight booziness to it. I don't know that it's like I don't smell like bourbon on this.
No, not it's not strong. It's just like noticeable that I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Cuz like with 6.4%, like you don't normally smell that, you know?
Yeah. I will say I get maybe some raisins, some you know, dried fruit, sort of like maybe dark cherry, but definitely sort of raisins or prunes. And a nuttiness to it as well.
Yeah.
You know?
A little bit of hazelnut.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just a hint of it. So let's see if we get those smells off the taste.
Finally.
Salud.
Yeah. So yes. It's flavorful, but I was right in that, you know what it is? It's that it's dry and a bit thin body-wise in a good way, the way a brown ale is supposed to be. So
I was going to say like a little watery, so I think thin is the perfect word for it.
It's not rich, and that is we're saying that in a good way. It's just that when you smell all those smells, you almost think of like rich, creamy stout, you know?
Yeah.
And this is not that. It's definitely a brown ale. The malt is up front. The roasted, the bitter, all of those notes are in the front, and then it finishes with very distinct coffee. The coffee is dark coffee. It's not sweet coffee. There's no dairy. There's no, you know, it's dry. It's very dry.
I think this reminds me of like, I'm glad we started with this. I mean, how do you start your day? Do you start your day with a coffee or a beer or an IPA or something like that? I mean, dealer's choice.
Yeah.
But for me, 9 times out of 10, if I'm having a bad day, it's the other way. But it's
unless
usually
something's
coffee.
horribly wrong,
unless you're just going through
or
it,
horribly right. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of like you woke. Okay, so like you're at a ski lodge and you woke up early in the morning and you want that hot roasted coffee and it like warms you up. That's kind of like the coffee taste I'm getting off of it, but at the same time, the carbonation is pretty good. It does feel a little thin, but in a good way. Brown bready, roasted malts. The nuttiness is there. I find it more in the back end than the taste of it, like when it first drink the liquid, but like after you swallow it is where I'm getting more coffee, more toffee, and more hazelnut nuttiness.
Yeah, it's on the back end. And I mean, this beer is super drinkable and definitely malt forward. There's no hops at all. I mean, there are hops in here. Obviously, it is beer, but you don't taste them at all. They're very, you know, subdued. This is all about the malt. But the coffee, I mean, I haven't had the original Bear from Treehouse, but the coffee is just, it's delicate, subtle, sort of just perfect pairing. It doesn't take it out of the world of brown ale at all. It just accents it ever so slightly. And it's, like you said, it's in the back end. It lingers there. Definitely leaves your mouth with like that I just had coffee flavor.
Yep.
But I mean, this is delicious and drinkable and a great option if you like brown ales or if you like maltier beers or if, you know, you're not an IPA head, you find yourself at Treehouse and they have this. It's
perfect for you, you know? I think I don't want to say requirement, but suggested requirement of a pairing with this would be a bonfire. I need a bonfire. I need to be sitting around a bonfire with my friends, talking about whatever, life, beer, and have this. This feels like a very outside winter, during winter sort of beer.
Yeah, it's not that again, I'll say it's not that imperial stout, imperial porter, that heavy thing, but it is, and it's not a, it's definitely not a stout, it's a brown ale, but it's got that warming quality to it. It's got that comfort quality to it. It's very bready. The malts are very, all of that pumpernickel bread is there. All of that, the richness of the malt is there, and then the coffee is just a kiss on top of it. But it's very comforting. It's sort of like the beer equivalent of like comfort food, like chicken pot pie or something. I don't know.
Ooh,
mac and cheese. But it's
love it.
It is just ever so smoky too, or just slightly smoky.
I feel like you really have to pay attention and kind of look for the smokiness, but it is there. It's hidden, but it's there. And it's overall, I think it's pretty solid. I think it's a great way to start. I think it's a great introduction to Treehouse Brewing.
Yeah, it represents
I need to find a treehouse because I want to get in one.
They have one. They had one at the original brewing location.
Yes, they did.
This represents a mastery of brewing styles, and that's the thing about Treehouse is, I can't tell you I'm not finely detailed enough to tell you exactly what sets Treehouse apart from so many other breweries that do so many things really well. I just can tell you that their IPAs are home run, out of the park, like it's over the wall and it's long gone. It's just like so, and this is another example of that. It's a mastery of style. They also have sort of a mystique to them, I would say. Treehouse does. They have 5 locations now, but the primary brewery is in Charlton, Massachusetts. That's what's behind me if you're on the YouTube. They have this tap room, so you can go and get a tap. They didn't for a long time, but now you can go get beer on tap. But it's one of those places, a lot of people, like you said at the top, they go and, wait in line for hours just to get huge cases of beer, and then they take off in their car, and that's the journey.
We have a friend / past teacher of ours that he lives in Connecticut, and he tells us all the time, he literally drives up hour and a half just to get the beer and come back. I mean, and he told us about how, you wait in your car and you get there early and you go and get the beer. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's just so popular. The logo, and the artwork on the cans. The cans are usually just like one solid color. It's a very familiar type place with knockout beers. And going off of the locations thing, the brewery started in a small red barn. It was this random off to the road red barn, and now there are 5 locations, and they are crushing it.
Yeah, so it was originally founded in 2011 by Dean Rohan, Nate Lanier, and Damian Goodrow. They were home brewers. They started in one of their kitchens, and then they ended up opening a brewery on this farm that had a treehouse on it, hence the name. There was a big zoning dispute. They moved to a Monson site, Monson, Massachusetts. I mean, we don't need to say the names of the places because you don't know where they are, and we don't either. But they ended up at their Charlton location, which is where they are now, in 2014 or 2016. 2016.
There you go.
That's their main spot. They do a beer garden thing in Boston in the summers, I believe. They have recently, we talked about this on the show, they purchased land in Connecticut. They've got a fermentery there now where they do distilling.
So we should go visit.
They've got a brewery in Deerfield. They've got a brewery in Cape Cod. So I think that's all 5. So yeah, it's just an operation that's taken off. But part of it, I think, is the mystique of it all, like the way that Heady Topper used to be. You know, it's that thing of like, you can't get their beer in the liquor store.
Right.
You have to go to the brewery, and the cans have very specific artwork. They're very colorful. They stand out for sure. And that sort of exclusivity, and that the beer is so good, I think just adds to the overall experience that is Treehouse, you know?
Like, here's what I'll say. Like, you don't call Treehouse, they'll call you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're that popular. Like, they are the VIPs. Like, they are just like, yeah, we'll call your people. We'll let you know when we're ready. I mean, that's just kind of how they are. And yeah, the exclusivity. I can't speak.
Yeah, exclusivity.
Exclusivity. There it is. I've been drinking. It's just it adds. I feel like it adds more like fun to it, because it's like, oh, we gotta, we want Treehouse, we gotta go on like a little beer run, and it's it's like, it becomes like a little mini road trip if you're in the area.
So they have 3 beers that are ranked in the top 10 beer in the world on Beer Advocate. They have 6 beers in the top 20 on Beer Advocate. They have been called one of the top breweries in the country on both Untapped and on Beer Advocate. I believe Untapped had them ranked 8th best, and Beer Advocate had them, as I said, they have 3 beers in the top 10 in the world.
Yeah. Crazy.
Sites like Forbes, the Boston Globe, and Thrillist have all lauded their work. And the bottom line is that their beers are fantastic. They're known specifically for American-style IPAs and stouts, but they have a lot to offer. But you're not going to find a whole lot of, definitely not really sours. You're going to find a lot of IPAs, a lot of New England-style IPAs, but New England-style IPAs with a bite to them. A lot of stouts, a brown ale. Every now and then they'll throw out a sour or a wild ale or
seltzers
a Belgian
as well. I've seen a lot of those. A lot of double IPAs. I mean, they do a little bit of everything. I have 2 beers that I'm going to talk about when we talk about what else is on tap. I can't wait for. But yeah, they've got pretty almost something for everyone. I think if you're more on the basic side of drink, if you're a basic drinker, you just like simple stuff, they've got at least 1 or 2 options for you, if not 3 or 4.
Well, the bottom line is you have no idea what you're going to get until you look at the website that morning and see what they have the day you're going.
That's the other thing I was going to say. Also, when you go on their site and you look at like what else they have, it changes every day. So we're going to give you what we have in this very moment, what we see in this very moment, but they have all different rotating stuff all the time. Hell yeah.
Yep. So all of that going on, as well as we mentioned before, a distillery, a coffee roastery. They purchased land in Connecticut, and now they're covering most of Massachusetts. They're in Western Mass. They're in Boston in the summers.
They're on Cape Cod, damn it.
Yep, and you can check their website for all because there's a lot of rules. I mean, you can only get 2 beers at a time. I think if you go to the tap room like drink beer, you gotta order it. There's a lot of rules.
Yeah,
but
on their site you can order from the 3. You can order from the Charlton. They have a beer. I don't know if it's a beer shop or just a beer like shipping service or what have you, but it's in Sandwich. Yes, that is a town name in Massachusetts. It's one of the best I've ever heard of.
It's very confusing because it looks like you're about to order a sandwich,
but you're not. You're ordering brewskis.
Yeah, no, that's one of their locations. I think their Western Mass location. So Charlton, as of now, is fully open with draft and beer to go. Sandwich is open for draft and beer to go. Deerfield is as well. So all of their locations are.
Yeah.
So check treehousebrew.com for more information. If you're in the area and want to pick up their beers, we recommend you do. Gabe.
Yes.
Do you have any final thoughts on this bear with a hint of coffee before we dive into the behemoth of a Treehouse IPA?
I mean, This is the point of the show where I give extra thoughts, but I think everything I want to say has been said. So I'm just going to say I like it. It's good. Coffee never disappoints. Brown ales have a place in this world. And I think it was a great way to start. Steven?
Yay! Yeah, I think that this is I think it's been said. It's delicious, it's complex, it's malty, it's different from the IPAs that they have there. If you're not an IPA head and you find yourself at Treehouse, this is great for you.
Bonfire
or just campfire or just the fireplace in your house, because apparently it's cold, I hear, on the East Coast. That's what they tell me.
You have no idea how cold it is.
I've seen a lot of screenshots. I watched the Bills game. It looked miserable.
Oh my God. There's that, but it's not even the cold for me. It's the wind. When it's windy and it's cold, it makes you want to throw up and jump out the window. Mm-hmm. You know?
No, I don't. Not anymore. Thank God. All right.
It's freezing outside. It was like 65.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Right,
so let's do beer number 2. Let's keep it going. Okay, so say your prayers, and let's all say grace. Here we go.
Everyone hold hands.
It's the King Julius. Now, they have a few IPAs in their lineup that are pretty standard, pretty simple, very well branded. Julius, Haze, Sap. This is a double version of the Julius. The Julius is known as an American IPA. It is a New England IPA, really. But yeah, so this is that. Facts of the beer, it's 8.2%. IBUs are 85. Untapped has it at 4.66, which is one of the highest we've ever seen from Untapped because their rating system is very specific. And Beer Advocate has it at a hundo.
Bang!
Yep.
Exclamation point!
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeedy dandy. That's a full 100.
It's just absolutely amazing. This is the first time we've had a beer on the show with a Beer Advocate rating of 1 hundo.
And just for the record, the Julius is also a hundo. So both the King Julius and the Julius come in at 100. It's, here it is in the glass. It is SRM chart, I don't know, maybe a 9-ish, I guess.
It's very dark orange juice.
It's you can't see through it. You can't see inside it. It's definitely a juicy IPA. The head is sort of this creamy, frothy, eggshell color or off-white color with a lot of sticky lacing around the side. It's definitely a New England style, but the thing about Treehouse is that they are known for putting a good bit of bite in their beer. So they find a way to blend those styles really nicely, and that these beers, you're going to get all the citrus that you expect, but
and then some.
But there's going to be a good bit of pininess to it as well, I believe. From the can, King Julius is a landmark American double IPA by Treehouse Brewing, brewed to be an exceptionally flavorful, juicy, and hop-saturated beer without rough edges or abrasiveness. Its vivid citrus and tropical fruit aromas give way to flavors of orange, creamsicle, mango smoothie, and a bounty of fresh tropical fruit. It is inspired and focused, refined and delicate amid an onslaught of flavor. It is brewed with intent, purpose, and originality. First brewed in 2012, King Julius is our endeavor to marry our past with what we aspire to be in the future. Enjoy. We will. Thanks.
And then there's another quote from the brewery that says, "A beer we are quite proud of." I would hope so. I would think so. I would assume so. It smells tropical. It smells hazy. It smells dank. It smells creamy. It smells soft. It smells fun. It smells downright sexy.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the bummer is that we don't have the hop profile of it, but my guess would be, Simcoe and Citra, maybe with a little bit of like Cascade or Centennial or something thrown in there to add a little bit of bitter.
Hatnang.
Detonang.
Probably not, but I just like to say it.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. It'd be nice if we could know the hop profile. So if anyone knows, please tell us.
Because the citrus is somewhat tropical, but it's also plenty of grapefruit, plenty of pith, plenty of
peel,
orange
zest.
Peel. There's an earthiness to it. There's a little bit of hay or straw. The malt is just ever so subtly there. And maybe it's in my head, but a little bit of booze, mayhaps. It seems like
I
kind of smell it. Yeah.
8.2. I definitely smell it. Are you kidding me? This smells like, oh yeah, this will put you right at that sweet spot.
This will put hair on your chest. Yeah.
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 Oh, it's just it smells dangerous. I haven't even tried it yet.
It probably is dangerous, and you can see the sticky lacing just tantalizing along the side, and it smells like
even a little
happiness.
Titillating.
I mean, we say all the time that we're tired of the IPA style and the New England IPA style, and part of the reason is because every brewery is trying to do this right here.
Yeah.
And this is the OG. So with that said, I don't know. Let's just drink it.
I don't think we should drink it. I think we should just stare at it.
Just look at it. Let's put it in a frame and just leave it.
Never try it. Bullshit. Your boy's thirsty.
Here we go.
Soft and citrusy. It's follows the nose really well. It coats the palate in a way that other beers just don't. And I don't really know how to describe it other than it just fills your mouth with all of this flavor. Whereas, we've had a lot of beers that smell one way and taste one way. We read a description of all the things we're going to taste and only get half or a few of them. This one, there's just like no bullshit to it. What you read is what you're getting. All the flavors are there. All the zestiness, and there's a little bit of, not tanginess, but I mean, it's like zest and orange peel. Like it all just adds so much. But at the same time, it coats the inside of your mouth in a very soft and kind of almost luscious way. The back end, I feel like it's like a lot of flavor, and then you swallow it, and it's that last whip of extra flavor. It's just all on top. Mango smoothie or whatever smoothie you said, I think is right. It doesn't taste like a smoothie, but it's got kind of that vibe to it, and the flavor and the quality of it. It's something else. It's a standalone.
Yeah, here's the thing. First of all,
touchdown! Unbelievable!
That's number one. Number two, the thing is that all of the citrus is there, yes, and it's hoppy, and it's got hop bite, but it doesn't have a lingering hop bitterness the way a lot of West Coast IPAs do. It's not so abrasively hoppy that it's like bitter in your mouth, but there is a shocking amount of hop bite for the kind of beer that it is. The fruits are overripe fruits that are grapefruit and mango and citrus, and the mango smoothie thing, yes, in the mouth it's thick, in the mouth it's creamy. Somehow they managed to get a whole lot of hoppiness going on here, and by hops I mean the bitter side of hops, but without the burn at the end, without the hop intensive sort of 6 point, like, which I love that resiny thing, but
ding ding ding,
it doesn't it cuts it off. It blends two things at once. It is full bodied. It's ridiculously dangerous. It's just scarily drinkable. The carbonation is good and strong and pleasant. I mean, a little bit of bubble gum, a little bit of that, bitter thing that we get on some of the more bitter beers. Definitely some resin, some pine, some earthiness. But it's just this, I can't overstate how delicate a balance this is and how difficult it is to truly nail something like this. And that blend is the reason that if you go through the Beer Advocate reviews of this, Every single one. I mean, some of them start with like, all right, we'll see if this is worth the hype. And by the end, it's like, this is one of my favorite beers of all time. I mean, it just is a knockout. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, so, I mean, don't buy this. I mean, it sucks. It's just not a good... Words you will never hear us say about this. It's awesome. It's great. It is just a stand-alone. Okay, now here's the one dilemma I'm having. Where are we drinking this? Where is the perfect moment in time? And don't say any time. Let's pick a time.
I mean, I would pick... You see how all these people are at the brewery behind me if you're watching on YouTube, and it seems like it snowed recently in New England, and they're kind of cold, and I'm imagining it's a Sunday, and, they just need to, like, get away from... They finally got out of their houses, and now they just need to deal with the fact that they're very cold, and they want to be warmed up, and I think that would be a good... This might help with that.
I would agree with that. I think this is one of those... obviously it's good right now, but I think this is like, if you go to the brewery, I mean, at least get a sampling of it. Like, you can't walk away from the brewery without trying this at least a little bit.
I can't imagine this on tap. I mean, it's...
Oh man.
I don't have the emotional capacity to handle even dreaming of that, but...
And here's the thing. It poured and kind of smelled very familiar to a triple.
Look at the lacing. Yeah.
Like when you first pour it, when you first smell it, there's like a part of me that thought like, oh damn, wait. This kind of is like in relation to like what a triple, what the most of the triples we've been tasting and smelling. Yeah. That's a perfect way to say it. The triples we've been having, but it's not, and it's a little bit better than those.
Well, I think that's because when you bump the ABV up like that, it helps with the body, and it helps achieve what this beer does with just hops, the hop blend that they have, and the malt, whatever they're doing with the hops and the malts, they manage to pull off what I think it takes more alcohol for other beers to pull off in a way. I mean, like I said, we had a brewer said it to us. We went to 4
City.
We do a lot of 4 breweries on the show, so I have to get it in my head. We went to 4 City Brewing, and we talked about this, and he said, everybody's trying to be Treehouse. And that was one of their whole things was we're distinctly not trying to do that. But that is the thing, is like, this is an IPA house, and they are made famous for their IPAs. And there's a reason for it. I mean, I say again, like, this is delicate. As tired as we are of the New England style, this one is just...
We'll make an exception for this guy.
I guess I'll drink it. It's it's delicate. It's beautiful. It's so well balanced. It's just a masterclass in how to make a balanced New England IPA that brings the fruit forward, but also maintains what you love about the hop bite and everything else. I mean, they have hazier, juicier, New England indier versions of their IPAs. The haze would be the main one. But this is perfect for Steven because it's a blend of everything I love.
Shower beer, yay or nay?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, literally.
I want to say yay.
Yeah.
I want to be sudsing up with this guy.
I'll drink it anywhere, anytime.
I just need that little suction thing that sticks to the wall so I can put the can in. But yeah, I'd be down. I think, I mean, in the shower, at your cousin's bar mitzvah, when you're watching a soccer game, it's really the beer for all occasions.
Yeah.
Grandma's birthday, in the nursing home.
I was going to make a dark joke. I'm not going to. We're not going to rank these beers because it makes no sense. But Treehouse, I mean, hands up, hats off. Thank you. Bless you. Gabe.
How do they do it? How do they do this? Yes, what? What?
One aspect of Treehouse we haven't talked about yet is the very, very pretty artwork on their cans. And for that, we go to our in-house expert in the corner, the man with the afro, Bob Ross.
Can Art and Crafts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bob Ross is here. He is ready for Can Arts and Crafts, and here we go. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to give the score right away. It's a 10 out of 10. You know it's going to be a 10 out of 10. Everyone knows that it's going to be a 10 out of 10, and I'm going to tell you why. So, in order, we got the Great Bear. This is a very, I would say, olive green background with a black coloring of a bear yelling. He's not roaring, he's yelling at his neighbors. He's saying, "Get off my lawn and drink the beer, you son of a bitch, I swear to..." He gets angry. It's like a whole thing. We've been talking to him. And then you've got the King Julius. And now, if you know Treehouse beers, you know their logo. It's literally a treehouse in a tree. It's very curvy. It looks like a storm is happening. It looks like it's going to fall over, but it won't. It's sturdy. People built it, and they built it well. The logo is just iconic. The cans are iconic. They're all very colorful and different, and they're normally solid colors. But there are also cans like the other beer. I can't think of the name right now, but it's got a little ski lodge, and it's got smoke coming out of it. I think it's called Inside Out or something like that. Snow Lodge, something like that.
There's a series of them. There's Lights Out.
That's what it is. Lights Out, I think.
Lights
anyway,
on.
Lights on, it's on, something's on. And it's just so bright and colorful. This is the type of can art that, like, it doesn't matter what it's sitting next to. Okay, the King Julius is pretty much all orange, a little bit of yellow. If it was sitting next to an orange canned beer on either side of it, you would still be able to see that this is Treehouse, which is why it gets the 10 out of 10. All the other beers that they have, the can artwork just gets better and better and better and mother effing better. So that is why it gets a 10 out of 10. Bob Ross is here. Bob Ross agrees. Bob Ross wants to climb and paint in a treehouse. He's going to paint our treehouse for us so we could go in and drink beer inside, and that is another great edition of Can Arts and Crafts, baby.
So, Treehouse, in terms of what they have, you know what I love is, like, it's aesthetically pleasing to me that all of their cans are basically the same design within their main series here, but with different colors. So if you get the Julius or the green or the haze or the doppelganger or the alter ego, whatever it is,
right,
you're getting a different color of the same can. Green, right, purple, orange.
But it's dope. Pretty. Like, you can go get your favorite color. They've got the sap, the red one. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, which I believe is a stout. It's an American IPA. So they have a bunch of IPAs, and then here and there, they'll throw in a Pilsner, a stout. They do rotating stuff. I mean, if you look at Beer Advocate and you look at their history, they've got beers on beers on beers. But if you look at their website, it's pretty pared down. I mean, I see a hoppy blonde ale. I see a wheat double IPA, but it's a lot of IPAs and stouts.
Oh, Steven, you see a hoppy blonde ale? That's one of my beers that I wanted to give an honorable mention to. It is the Eureka. It is a hoppy blonde 4.2% ale. And the can is yellow background with a sky blue treehouse and tree. And although it's too soon...
Yeah, I can't believe you brought that up.
It reminds me of the Chargers, but it's very bright and colorful, and I love me a good blonde ale. The other one I wanted to mention very quickly is the Quadruple Shot Cinnamon Cookie. This is from the Sandwich Locations to-go ordering thing. It's an imperial stout. It's 11.2, featuring an incredibly decadent base stout. Quadruple Shot is conditioned on mounts of Kalon, cinnamon, and vanilla. Amazingly delicious dessert stout with notes of snickerdoodle cookies, vanilla cream, and chocolate velvet cake. Can I get an amen?
Bang! Exclamation point!
Close enough.
Yeah, that sounds freaking delicious. This is the thing, like, first of all, this Sandwich Location looks like it's like on the water or something, and it's like it just looks really pretty and isolated.
Wow.
But yeah, that's the thing. Check their website. The day you're going, you'll find there's something different all the time. And Shoe Buddy, this place is awesome.
Weizenbach, Amber Ale, Amber Lager, Unfiltered Keller Beer. I mean, what?
They do it all, guys. They know what's up. Coffee stout, imperial stout, American IPA, American double IPA, IPA. Holy mother of IPA.
We don't need to pitch Treehouse. We don't need to sell Treehouse. Like, you know them, you love them, and they're them for a reason. And we're just here to say, yeah, these beers live up to the hype, and, you know, get your hands on them because, oh, man, I wish I had more. I can't get them out here.
I was just about to say, I think we should clarify that Steven literally, you flew back with these beers, right?
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot involved in.
Like, there's no way you found these in California.
Oh no. These were picked up at the brewery, just like everything else, and then brought to me, and then I traveled here, there, and everywhere, and then there was packing, and I may or may not have gotten international or the UPS involved in a legal way. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's here. And
listen, they should be here to help us.
With that, we need to move on to our final section of the day.
Last call.
And we're going to be talking about something Gabe and I love very much. And that's football.
Here's the thing. We haven't even said what the story is yet, and that could have gone in so many different directions. Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah. So
are we ready for this?
Yeah. So this past weekend was super wild card weekend. Congrats to all the winners. Just to be nominated.
Thank you, Cincinnati Bengals. Thank you. Thank you.
But the Buffalo Bills fans, the Buffalo Bills,
Bills Mafia.
I believe that the quote from our favorite football reviewer of the moment was that the Patriots got hornswoggled by Josh Allen. And so the Buffalo Bills won the game handily, but Buffalo Bills fans, Bills Mafia,
y'all gotta chill.
What are we doing?
And it's not what you think. It's not the jumping through the tables. It's not the screaming. It's not the being shirtless. It's something new that the Hop guys are here to comment about.
Buffalo Bills fans have apparently a habit of, they're throwing dildos on the field is what's happening. When they play the Patriots, they like to throw dildos on the field, generally around the end zone area. And it happened again this week. The game was it was very cold. If you didn't watch it, you could see a lot of players' breath.
Oh, yeah.
At one point, there was a dildo in the end zone. I don't know how else to make that sound good. It's there, and it's pretty big. And
oh my God.
Ew. That's a good way of pointing it. You just see one of the players pointing at it, and it instantly became a meme, took off on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, it's not the first time this has happened. It happened in 2016. I guess it's just a thing. If you go to see the Bills play the Patriots, you bring your dildo.
It's dildo night at the Pats game. I don't get it. I think it's hilarious. My favorite part of this entire thing is that there are a bunch of videos circling around, like on Twitter, of someone throwing the dildo in the end zone, and then the refs have to like stop and get it cleaned up, but they don't want to touch it, so they just start kicking it like to the sideline.
Yeah.
And the crowd's going nuts. They're like, pick it up. But I mean, first of all, my first question is, how did you like get it past security? Like the security was just like, oh, well, please continue. You may need to use this at some point during the football game. Like,
I feel like they're looking for a lot, but I feel like they're not looking for that. I mean, maybe now, maybe they know to now, because it started in 2016, but it happened again in 2017, 2018. Those are the documented cases that we have. Apparently, an executive from the Bills had to issue a statement after it started, saying outright that dildo throwers would be banned for life. Dildo throwers would be banned for life.
I just think of like, in like a restaurant where someone steals food, they have a picture of them. It says thief above it.
Yeah.
I feel like at the Bills stadium, they have a picture of a fan and it says dildo thrower. Oh my God. Wow. I I don't get it, but I don't have to get it. I mean, I'm looking at a video right now and the caption says, "Want to see a ref kick a dildo out of the end zone?" Yeah, I do want to see that. Nora, who shared it on Twitter. Thanks, Nora.
And yeah, that was in 2018. That one, that year, the fan that threw it did get arrested for it. I mean, I don't know what the charge is that what is that? Disorderly conduct? I mean, I don't know what you charge someone with if they threw a dildo on the field.
I just think of like, if I was the judge in that court case, I don't think that I'd be able to keep a straight face. I'd be like, so please explain the situation. You threw a dildo on the field. Like, that's too funny.
Well, Your Honor, Tom Brady was in town. Say no more.
I want to know what Mac Jones thought about all this. Like, did he know? Did someone throw a dildo on the field and was Bill Belichick like, God, son of a bitch, not again? All right, let's get the game over with.
I'm more interested in the Bills fan, like as they're packing up everything that they have to take to the game. They're like, all right, I got my winter clothes on. Everything in the car for the tailgate? Yes. Where are the dildos? We got those? Are they in the bag? Do you have to sneak them?
A couple. They're like throwing them at each other in the tailgate.
Do you go
whatnot.
to like a VIP or something and buy these specifically for the or is this just like your whatever you have, whatever you got,
whatever's fresh? I feel like VIP stores like in Buffalo do very well because they're like, well, we have to open early, the Bills game. It's like, oh, our like, what does that matter? It's like, oh, you have a lot to learn, sweetie. We don't fuck around here in Bills Mafia.
I was going to make a comment about how it's just too cold up there and it's just they're too far north. And there's a weird thing that happens in upstate New York that things just go to your head. And I do stand by that because I've spent a lot of time in upstate New York. But Lambeau is also way up north and very cold, and ain't nobody throwing dildos on the field that I know of in Green Bay. So
if Aaron Rodgers saw a dildo on the field, he would probably point at it and laugh. He'd probably be like, guys, look. Like, he would have fun with it.
I just like this one video I'm watching from 2016 because it's like mid-play. Like, it's like the defenders are taking the guy to the ground, and you just see this, like, dildo just bounce into the frame right at the feet of that player.
How do you, like, continue to play through that?
There is a lot to break down of Super Wildcard Weekend, and there was a lot of good and a lot of bad, but this is probably my favorite highlight of the whole thing.
Yeah, this is pretty epic. This is what football is all about, guys, honestly. So
and we
Bills
didn't get
Mafia.
dildos last year because there were no fans in the stands. So you know what I say? Bring on the dildos.
Bring on the dildos. I want...
Oh, God.
I would love someone to throw out just like the biggest dildo they have, and I want it to like smack a player in the face and just watch him go down.
I'm not going to break that down, but I could, but I'm not going to.
Oh, can we though? Yeah, this is great. Bills Mafia, y'all got to chill, but also can we hang out?
But also keep doing what you're doing, but also you're great. Yeah, the table jumping thing is a whole other... Okay, we got to go. Treehouse, baby. Just one of the best.
Sorry
breweries.
it took so long.
You know,
Oops.
we had to
warm
ready.
you guys up. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, we'll have another Throwback Thursday next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Until then, drink good beer, take care of each other, love each other, stay safe, wear your masks.
Do all the things. We love you guys. Go Pack Go, I guess.
Go Pack Go, baby.
I'm still crying, but
we'll see
I'm
if I
rooting
feel
for the
good
Packers.
next time we record this.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, everybody.